Hello everyone. So in this video, I actually want to help you, and you will definitely appreciate me making this video. Now, I received this notice yesterday. This is basically a parking notice that I received from this company. And what happened? I was doing my usual bi-weekly shopping at Tesco, and I don't normally go to Tesco Slough. So in Slough, there's a big Tesco right next to the station, and I normally don't go there because it's a bit too far from my place because I live in Burnham, which is on the edge of Slough, and we also have a big Tesco here, which is in Taplow, which is in fact very near to my place. But because it was just before Diwali and I wanted to buy few things, few Indian things like rice and usually when you go to Tesco Slough, they have more Indian stuff. And I was also hoping to buy some Kingfisher because they normally have Kingfisher there mostly. Now, the way it works there is that you can, of course, park your car there, but you have to validate your parking. So basically, when you enter the car park of Tesco, your your car's photograph will be taken. So usually here in the UK there is a system. I don't know what you call these systems, but APPNR something like that. So they basically take a picture of your car entering the car park, and then when you go out, they will of course take another picture, and based on the time on on those two pictures you can then, or basically they will decide, they will figure out, okay, whether you exceeded the free limit. So in Tesco Slough, uh, near the station, they have a limit of 3 hours. And I only was there for 2.5 hours, so that is not really the reason. In fact, when I look at the notice, it says that either you overstayed above your allowed period or you didn't validate your parking. So what happens is you can park, of course, for up to 3 hours, but uh, you have to purchase something of minimum £5, I believe, if I'm correct. And then when you get your bill, you will also get when you get not the bill, but when you get the receipt, you will also get the parking. There is a parking separate. There is a separate barcode that you receive for the parking, and they have these machines like series of machines where you can go and enter your car number, and then you can basically validate your parking. So basically, you have to scan your barcode that you receive along with the receipt. Now, I did that, and I didn't overstay. I also validated my parking, and I was not really sure why they sent me this parking notice. So, good thing about uh, this, I mean, on the letter, it says that you can also basically appeal. So the charge is £70, which is of course a lot for something. I mean, to be honest, you shouldn't even think of paying £1 if it is not really your fault. So of course I was not really going to pay £70. That is of course a lot. So I appealed, and the best thing I did was when I validated my parking, I basically took a picture because when you validate your parking, the moment you validate, you get a message on the screen where it says, "Thank you for validating your parking," and you have, of course, on top the time and date of validation. So what I did when I appealed, I sent them my bank statement confirming that yes, I spent money. So I spent, I believe, £70. I also sent them, along with the bank statement, I also sent them my Tesco Club Card point statement where it says that, yeah, I did collect 70 points because I think with Tesco you get 1 point for £1, I guess. So I'd also send them that. And the most important part is that I also send them the uh, the picture I took while I was validating my, the confirmation of the validation with the time. So I appealed them, and within like literally within half an hour, I received their reply that. So yes, when I received the reply, when I received the reply, they said in their email or in the in the PDF, so they sent me a PDF file like a letter. They said that they have no record of my uh, of me validating the the parking, which is of course something wrong with their system because I have a confirmation, and I don't know how it happened because uh, it is definitely something wrong with their system, or maybe they were just trying to I don't know, maybe they just sent this notice to everyone and they thought, okay, let us wait for people to get back to us. Uh, but it's definitely not right, right? I mean, I'm sure here in the UK, if you ever get a notice like this, and if it is not your fault, appeal, and hopefully you will get a response back. I know you can also contact a lawyer to do this appeal for you, but you don't have to. You can just do it yourself because you just need to go to this link and fill up a form. And when you appeal, you have to specify the reason, like whether it was a mistake or whatever. And you can also attach some proof along with the details. So I explained them that I entered the car park at around 12:45 and I left the car park at at 15:14, so 2.5 hours. And I also sent them the pictures of my bank statement, Tesco statement, and Tesco Club Card statement, and also my the most important part was the confirmation, like a picture of the confirmation. Uh, so this is something that you should, I think, do. Take a picture of the. So whenever you validate your ticket, just take a picture because that is your proof. You can also do this validation online because you don't have to use the machine. I mean, this is especially true for Tesco Slough, the big one, where they have those machines, but you don't have to use the machine to validate. You have to. You can also do it online, but if you do it online, I think you have to validate this within like 3 hour window, right? That is the key thing. And if you're shopping there, then of course you are worried about your shopping cart. You have to go to your car, and then you have to make sure that I mean there are so many things happening right at the same time. So I was of course in a rush, but at the same time I didn't forget to validate my car parking, and I also took a picture. But after receiving this letter, I was of course not really disappointed, but it is definitely uh, it did give me like some tension for like half an hour because 70 pounds, although it's not really about 70 pounds, it's more about the mistake that I didn't do it. It was not really my fault. So if you're in the UK and if you're new to the system, I guess I think as long as you're right, as long as you can prove that you're right, you're fine. And especially about parking, especially if you are going to park somewhere where you have to validate your parking, because here in the UK it is also true for not everywhere, but not all the big stores. But if you go to, let us say, Sainsbury's, or I mean, it depends. Most of the car parks they have this automated system where they keep track of the in and out time, but you don't really have to validate your parking. And uh, also, if you go to some NHS clinics or surgeries, you have to. I mean, you can park there for free, but you have to. The moment you go to the reception, you have to input your car number, car registration number, and you have to basically tell them that yes, I am here, I have parked here. If you don't do it, then they will send you a ticket. Sometimes, if you go to a restaurant to eat something, you also have to do the same thing. So you have to go to the, I guess, it depends. Like usually the system might be different, but the concept is same. You have to basically tell them that you were here for a reason. And if you are in a restaurant, you might be able to get a parking something, barcode, some number if you pay. So what you need to do whenever you're doing these things, like you're shopping or you're going to eat somewhere in a restaurant, try to keep your receipts with you if you can, or at least for a few months, or take a picture and at the same time basically, if you can also take a picture of the parking, whatever receipt, whatever you have, or parking barcode, even if you're, let us say, parking in a car park, you are supposed to display your, depending upon, how you generate the parking receipt. Basically, if you pay using the machine, you will get like a small slip that you have to display on the car. So take a picture of the machine while you are generating the slip. To be honest, it's not really a big deal, but it is, I know, a bit annoying because you have to take a picture. But if you have like some record, if you're paying by card, then I think that is like a very good proof, because when you make a payment using card, there is a timestamp, right? So that is also important. But what I normally do, I have like a old shoebox, not old shoebox, but I have a shoebox which I keep with me, and I basically dump all my receipts over there. So, for example, some places you will get those receipts uh, online. For example, if you shop in Lidl, so Lidl is good because they give you receipts, but they also give you the receipts on the mobile app. Tesco is not really going to give you receipt. You have to basically look at the Tesco Club points, which is of course not really a detailed view of, but there is a time. But you have to also make sure that you tap your Tesco or scan your Tesco card. So try to keep some record with you for some time, and this is what I do. Basically, a box where I basically dump all the slips and these parking things, so that I have a record somewhere. And after a while, just maybe after 6 months, maybe you can do some housekeeping like you would do with your digital files. But hopefully in this video I've given you some ideas, and I saved 70 pounds. And I mean, because if to be honest, they were, even when they sent me the reply that they are going to cancel the parking notice, they didn't say that it was our mistake. They basically told me that okay, we are going to cancel it, but we have no record in the system. So maybe they thought that I'm showing them so many proofs, and maybe that was the reason they didn't really bother to. Uh, Basically, they canceled it. They thought, okay, they have no way to prove me wrong, because the next step would be for me to contact a lawyer or appeal again, because you can do that, right? And 70 pounds is, I mean, to be honest, I would have done it even for 7 pounds or 1 pound, because it was not really my fault. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy, and it was a relief when they replied to me, which I appreciate, because although they didn't really acknowledge the mistake in their system, but they cancelled my notice. All right, that is all. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Yes, on this video we talk about everything, right? It's all about learning. It's all about being happy. All right. Bye bye.